Hello everybody and welcome into CTN Sports Game of the Week. We are here at Hill Pool. I'm Nick Wisniewski, joined as always by Kevin the Mayor Bryant. We've got girls water polo on tap, Skyline Eagles taking on the Pioneers. Kevin, what are we in for tonight?
Well, on a day where we've had rain, sleet, and snow, I'm happy to be inside next to this water. Hot water match between two of the best teams in the state, two top 10 teams, and they're getting ready for the gauntlet of a schedule that awaits both squads. Pioneer, after tonight, Coach Will Hart, he has his team playing every single day, no practice in between. And Coach Godick for Skyline, well, she's only lined up probably the hardest schedule remaining for any team over the next 2 weeks before both squads get ready for the state championship in water polo.
As always, both of these squads are perennial state champ favorites. Here we're going to see them both playing. Stick around. We'll be right back. And here we are, everybody, according to that graphic. As you can see, Skyline Eagles taking on the Pioneers here at Hill Pool. We are moments away from the ball being dropped into the pool for the third matchup, Kevin Bryant, of these two teams. One win for the Eagles, a tie in that second meeting, and let's see what happens with this one.
Well, according to you, it must be a Pioneer win. We go tie, we have lost, tie, win, right? We start off with possession.
And Sarah Osterholzer now in possession. Britta Coltis all up in her grill, though. Coltis, the second leading scorer for the Eagles.
That turnover was by a bad pass, and that pass up top for the fast break was just a little long.
And that's Maddie Baybeck there. Long toss up for Eva Woods.
That was a splash, right?
Woods loses that one to Lauren McNeil, though.
You know, one of the things about this sport that's always amazed me is that no goggles. All the splashing of the water, you would think they'd allow the players to throw on some goggles. This day and age with some different colors.
Different colors would be slick. Yeah, I've just got to think there'd just be too much splash in there. You just got to keep going. You got to get through it.
Part of the game, right?
Absolutely. Baybeck tosses up there for Maddie Seepelt. Seepelt tosses into Eva Woods down low. Pestered by Skyline player.
McNeil there on the defense for Skyline gets whistled for a minor violation.
Not a lot of motion so far for the Pioneers.
Didn't even get a shot off that time, not even trying.
No, shot clock went down to 2, and they just decided to muff it down into the corner. And now Skyline is forced to get it and go as quickly as they can.
Yeah, coming off 14-point scores at the last 2 games. This is what you see, dropping it down into the hole real quick.
And that was Allie Denninger. She is one of the main scorers you're going to see. She's probably a culprit in some of those big scoring games.
Quick transition there from Coach Godick's squad, dropping the ball right down into the point. and quick shot on goal.
Here we can see that toss up into Denninger. Denninger just completely draped over. It didn't matter. Turns around, has a really great nose for that net, and finds the back of it here to give the Skyline Eagles a quick 1-0 lead.
Coatless on the assist there for the Eagles. Oh, harmless shot there.
And like you mentioned, Kevin, the Pioneer is going to be trying really, really hard to stop this quick transition offense. Just look at those Eagles go.
Well, the Eagles actually have only played 10 matches so far this year, opposed to the Pioneers that are up to 18 matches, so big difference. And Coach Godick has done this on purpose. She's really backloaded the schedule.
Yeah, I mean, both of these coaches have tons of experience coaching
Definitely.
and playing.
Oh, yeah.
They've both been there. They've both done it. And here's Denninger right now. Speaking of been there, done that, she'll have the opportunity with a one-on-one shot. And she just fires that one up high. Not a lot Maddie Baybeck can do about that. And that's Denninger's second goal now within the last 30 seconds.
Off of the penalty, that was right from the 2-meter or 5-meter shot line there. It looked like from the yellow. And just right in, top shelf style.
Here's the penalty shot right here. Denninger just smokes that shot in.
Cross cage, that's what those coaches love to see.
Now Pioneer back on the offensive end.
Skyline being a little aggressive on that defense.
Well, I think that aggressive defense moves into that aggressive transition into offense. I think it's all part of the same game plan for them.
And you see their defense is really stymieing Skyline from getting any type of quality looks at the net.
And there you can see just that muffed shot at the end. They knew that they had nothing going, so they just tossed it into the corner. And what that does is it forces Skyline to work that much harder and that much quicker with only a 30-second shot clock. Britta Coltis now working past the defense, finds Denninger in the middle one more time. Denninger right at Baybeck. Baybeck, though, 2 hands up, gets that one, and she's going to get her offense going the other way.
Great job of popping up out of the water there for Baybeck. And the senior captain just shows some great skill of just covering that entire cage.
Here we see Denninger looking for the hat trick there, but Baybeck doing a nice job of getting out of that pool, both hands out, knocks it down, and she makes a big save.
She's kind of fluttering there in the water. She's kind of hovering.
Well, Denninger's a little tricky. It's tough to figure out exactly where she's going, so she's going to have that up and down motion. Jory Cho now pushing up for the Eagles really quickly, all alone with Baybeck. Baybeck up, but no goal, no stop, excuse me. Jory Cho goes low and sneaks that one past Baybeck.
That was on the doorstep, right at the 2-meter mark. Joe took it all the way up the pool and just right on the doorstep. Nobody to really help Baybeck in that cage there. And she has to anticipate where the shot's coming. That little hesitation gave Cho the opening for the goal.
Well, just so similar to soccer if you're used to watching that. I mean, if you're all alone, you've just got, as a goaltender, you've just got to dive. You've got to make a move, up, down, left, right, whatever, and just hope that you're guessing right. And Baybeck just didn't have it on that one.
Again, the Pioneers are now trying to run a play. They're sending some players down inside, trying to have a double man inside the point, but their action started a little late in the shot clock, which didn't give them enough time to get a shot on net.
No, but quickly up the pool once again, the Skyline Eagles. And Cho got dragged down there. That may be an exclusion penalty.
Yeah, you heard the 2 long whistles, and it looks like that's going to be a penalty shot coming up from Cho.
That's Denninger there once again. She's dangerous, as we've already seen, with still 2:33 left to go here in this first period. Denninger gets up high, goes real strong torque right side that time. Puts another one in the net, and that's an early hat trick for Allie Denninger.
Yeah, in the first quarter, she comes up with pulling the other side of the cage. Now that really, as a keeper, is going to throw you for a loop here in the first quarter when you have someone going to their opposite hand.
Well, and I wonder if Baybeck could read her eyes. Baybeck was going that side, but just can't catch up with such a fast, furious shot there. Denninger keeps it going. Smashes into a defender. That'll be on Pioneer, so momentum penalty here for the Eagles. Great catch by Denninger, one-handed. Now she's looking for her teammates. Harassed, for lack of a better term there, by Maddie Seepelt.
Looks like that was an underwater poke or something, or a kick maybe by Skyline, which turned the ball back over to Pioneer.
You know, when Skyline has been bringing it up in a slower motion, slow manner, Pioneer's done a really nice job of playing defense, getting in there, getting in the way, and mussing up that Skyline offense. However, when they're coming in from transition, man, there's no stopping them, it seems like.
Yeah, it seems like right now in this first quarter, and we're right at about 100 seconds left here, that it looks like there's more energy, Nick, on the Skyline side right now. Their offense is a little bit more efficient, and they're not spending time and getting into it. They're really pushing the pace.
Oh, and when you're up 4-0, you're going to have that energy and just keep building on it as well. Here's Denninger one more time, coming up near side of the pool. Finds Britta Coltis cutting up the middle. No go, though. Maddie Baybeck will start her offense off.
Boy, McNeil was coming up open right just side of the cage there. She was wide open. Nobody was on her. If the Eagles were able to corral that pass, that would have been another goal.
And that's Seepelt tossing it into the middle. No go, Lauren McNeil. Didn't quite see that one coming, but McNeil finds that one, sends it up to Britta Coltis.
Looks like we might be having another clock issue, Nick. You see over at the clock?
I do indeed. Yeah, you'd mentioned probably 30, 40 seconds ago that there was 100 seconds left, and we've only got 126 to play here.
Yeah, and the shot clock is up to 59. So, I mean, that's a long shot.
Well, that
clock.
sounds fair.
Yeah.
That sounds fair. Yeah, there's a little bit of confusion
over here,
between
man.
the two of them.
How did they figure that one out? I mean, is somebody doing it manually where they can look back over and say, oh, the time was this?
That's a stellar question. I don't know. There's the hard reboot there by Coach Hart. He knows what's up.
Yeah, I mean, because it really is going to have to go on whoever saw the last click on the clock about what time. You're not going to be able to start over the period.
Well, no, you're completely right, and I guess one official or the other is going to have to make a decision, or they'll put their heads together with the two coaches and say, hey, what do you consider fair? I guess. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know where you go here.
And advantage right now goes maybe to Pioneer.
I agree. Stop that momentum.
Yeah,
completely correct.
Slow down the Eagles.
Completely
Eagles were again on the attack there when the stoppage came into play. And this one, it might be another extended break because you have Coach Hart again coming over towards the scorers table.
And it's interesting, too, just now both teams are going to their benches. To this point, both squads were basically frozen in place. Nobody wanted to move. Nobody wanted to give up their position. Everybody was staying where it is. That said, now both teams have broken back to their respective benches to probably chat this out. And in the meantime, we are going to take a break. Stick around, though. We'll be right back once we figure out this whole situation. And welcome back, everybody. As promised, we have fixed not we, it's not like me and Kevin are doing anything.
I forgot my tool belt.
They have fixed the whole situation, and we've got water polo happening here on the shore. 1:06 left to go here in this first period. Here mid-pool, you see Maddie Baybeck with the ball. She's going to get her Pioneer offense moving here.
And, hey, that was just an extra timeout for the Pioneers. Coach Will Hart has to look at it on the positive.
No, that's definitely, as we were saying during that break, that's advantage Pioneer completely because that hopefully stops the bleeding a little bit and gives them a little bit of a momentum push the other way. That really aggressive that really aggressive defense by Skyline continuing.
Not a space in between either player. It looks like that's going to be a timeout for Pioneer.
Yeah, Coach Hart didn't really have the luxury of talking to all of his girls during that timeout because he was the one wandering around figuring out what the problems were and fixing things for the second time now. So,
yeah, he does have his tool belt.
Yeah.
And he did have some duct tape. and things are back working well. But smart timeout on his part here strategy-wise going into the end of the first quarter. You know, get a real quality shot, something you can build upon for the remaining 3 quarters of this match.
Yeah, 19 seconds to go with this shot clock, 41 to go in the period. And to be honest, I mean, has Pioneer really had a solid opportunity
It really
yet?
has been a tough, right from the tip-off. I mean, Skyline took possession. I mean, Pioneer, took possession of the tip-off, but immediately it was a turnover on the first pass. And then Skyline has been so successful on each shot. I mean, they haven't had too many empty possessions.
No, right you are on that. And Pioneer, we've seen it from them so far. If the shot clock gets down to 3, 4, 5 seconds, they're just not even trying to shoot. They're just muffing it into the corner and making Skyline work that much harder and swim that much further and that much faster. To this point, though, it hasn't been a big deal with Skyline. They've had not a ton of problems doing that, coming up in transition and scoring goals.
And that in itself, I'm sorry to cut you off there, sir. I was going to say that in itself excites that Skyline team. We just had a successful defensive stop. Man, that transitional offense is that much smoother.
Yep, and here's Baybeck. She's going to start things off here for the Pioneers. Curious if she'll go short pass in or if she'll try to send somebody into the corner.
And it looks like our one of our officials, Matt Latham's over at the table, still trying to sort some things out before we get restarted here.
And away we go, as they say. Nice one-tip pass to get that
there's
ball
an open
back
shot.
into the middle.
Really packing it in that zone. See, now Pioneer does have 2 players inside that hole and had tried to shot from the outside.
Quality effort there by Cho to get her hand up. That ball didn't even make it in to the goaltender. Yeah, Ellie Salazar has not been tested quite yet, except for right there. And that one, she gets a hand of it, but it bounced right in.
That is going to count. And that looked like that was Maddie Spypelt. Spypelt, the senior from outside, a driver. Not even a winger, from way outside, Nick.
There you can see her trying to go for it up high. Salazar had knocked
Partially
that one
blocked,
down,
right?
but just ricocheted in, just barely crossed that line. And now that's exactly what Pioneer needed to get on the board with a mere 2 seconds to go here in this first period. And that will do it for the first. Pioneer gets on the board late, but they've still got a lot of work to do to catch up to the Eagles. Stick around, folks. We'll be right back with second period action here at Hill Pool.
Island Park is a beautiful 5.5-acre park along the Huron River, just north of downtown. Park visitors enjoy this quiet respite from the busy downtown where they can watch wildlife make their home along the river, relax in the shade, and peer over the park's bridges. A portion of the park is an island in the middle of the river where you'll find picnic tables, a playground, swing set, and a Greek Revival-style shelter built in 1914. Two additional shelters available for rent are also within the park. There is a designated boat launch area where people paddling or tubing down the river can launch or disembark safely. Visit the park's webpage to learn more about its amenities, history, and how to get there at a2gov.org/parks.
And welcome back, everybody, to CTN Sports Game of the Week. Nick Wisniewski here with Kevin Bryant at Hill Pool. Second period getting ready to go here, Kevin. What was that first period all about?
Oh, that was action-filled, really. I mean, a lot of goals. Pioneer, Denninger had the hat trick already in the first period. Salazar didn't see that much in action in the net for the Eagles. On the opposite side, Baybeck was having to go back and forth, left and right, all over the cage, in between several stoppages that we had for technical difficulties with the clock. It was an action-packed first quarter.
Right you are, and everything that we'd expect from a matchup like this, right? And
Two top
what
10
we've
teams.
seen as well, exactly.
Yes,
right.
indeed. The Eagles are even flying out to the tip-off faster, and I wonder if Coach Hart, if that's a decision to just come out and play defense there.
Yeah, there was a lot of trepidation there on the Pioneers, and it was almost like deference. Here, you guys can just take it and do what you got to do. And I think you might be right, because that enabled Pioneer to pull back a little bit and let the Skyline offense come to them. There's Denninger with a great reception. Nice fake, up, down, and in one more time. Really heady play there by Denninger. Great job of receiving that pass one-handed. Really quality fact. Baybeck had no chance, and Denninger goes right side and scores her 4th goal of this one.
Osterholzer was the Sarah Osterholzer, the junior, trying to play some defense on Denninger in there, and just was a step behind.
Well, just look at that whole body fake. Like, it wasn't just the ball, it wasn't just her arm, it was everything. And Baybeck bit it hook, line, and sinker, as you can imagine. Denninger is a really special talent. She very easily could be one of the best players in the state.
She's showing the skills tonight, I'll tell you that.
Yes, she has.
And look at that, up on the D.
Just a really good feel for the game as a whole.
And that's what that defense did. Allow Pioneer not to get a shot off.
Quick shot clocks, as always in these games. There's a long toss up there for Britta Coltis.
And Coltis was actually called for that penalty. It's a turnover back to the Pioneers.
And now long pass up to Osterholzer.
Look at the defense by Cho. Cho, she's talking to her, smiling, and she smiled her way right into a penalty.
I don't think we're going to see her start to lay off, though. Obviously, the aggressive nature of this Skyline defense is just what they do. And as that one turns around, Maddie Seipel turns around, gets her 2nd goal of this game.
Seipel really got a clean pass, turned, and fired. That was a one-timer, the best way you can do it. The ball didn't touch the water. Look at the pass in, come in. Oh, it did touch a little water. But then she corralled it and just scooped and scored.
And we've seen so many of these offensive threats on both sides. Nobody's trying for that skip shot in. Nobody's trying for that wet shot.
More in the boys' sport where you're seeing more of that skip shot.
Yeah, a lot more. Oh, big save there by Baybeck. Yeah, just a lot more of those high shots. Trying to get the goaltender up and around and then aiming for those corners more or less.
Baybeck was awake on that replay, and we'll see it in a second there. But she just popped out of the net and just stymied that shot from Denninger right on the doorstep. And Denninger was coming with the behind the back.
And Baybeck has still got the ball, but there's only 5 seconds left here on the shot clock. Not sure what the delay was, but there was some sort of an issue coming to the ball. And that'll be shot clock violation on the Pioneers, and now the Eagles will be on the attack.
And I tell you, the defense for the Eagles is almost as good as the offense for the Eagles, Nick.
Well, they're definitely opposite sides of the same coin, right? Like, this is just a really aggressive team. You can just see how fast the Eagles are.
And they're very decisive in the decision making. Once they feel that they're going to go on the attack, boom, they don't hesitate.
And we've seen Seipelt now also playing aggressive. Got Coach Hart screaming at his team there. I mean, it's tough. You got to scream, though, because it's tough to hear when you've got that headgear on and you're in the water. What are you going to do?
Yeah, and it was a little 20-second timeout, so we'll get another because it was a substitution by the Eagles. But it looked like Coach Hart called the timeout to reset his team.
Well, we do have an exclusion penalty as well. Looks like somebody for Skyline. I can't see who that is. It may be Sophia Mars down in the penalty area.
So not a timeout, but a penalty to stop and choke it.
And now Pioneer with a real opportunity to get this one close now. One-hander just wide there.
Seipelt again on the shot.
Yeah, Seipelt seems to be the main offensive player here for the Pioneers thus far.
You would think, though, if Seipelt is a right-handed player, she would be positioned over to the left of the netminder to just get a little bit more oomph on that shot.
Speaking of oomph on the shot, that's Denninger with another goal. She snuck that one by Maddie Baybeck.
Man, we need to get a replay on the CTN camera angle all the way down there, because I'm not sure that ball crossed all the way into the cage. It was so close. I mean, it was a quick whistle, too.
It didn't have a lot of mustard on it as it came through, but sure looked like it broke that play. And here we can see that one coming up. There's Denninger now, turns. Oh, that definitely got in.
Did it get all the way in?
Yeah, I think it did. Oh, if it didn't initially, it did on that slap. I think Baybeck had the look on it. I think she knew that that one was in. (6-2) now, our score currently with the Eagles up.
And you can see the difference, Nick, of Pioneer not moving that ball around and shifting the defense. They're keeping the possession with one person as opposed to sharing it.
Long shot there by the Pioneers, and that one's sent in by Seipelt.
That's her third.
That'll be her third goal.
And again, from all the way out in that winger or that driver position where she's shooting, and that's past the 5-meter mark, and you have to have some skill to find it in. And again, clean pass leads to a clean shot.
Clean pass, wide open. She had a big look. Nobody was in front of her for a good yard and a half around her, so she could pick her spot, get up, put some extra torque on that shot, and get it in there. Denninger, big save there by Baybeck.
And it looks like that was a call inside the 2-meter mark of a player being inside the 2-meter mark without the ball. So the possession will still stay with the Skyline Eagles, but they'll move it back and reset.
I think Baybeck caught that one on the noggin a bit.
You got to use everything.
That's right.
Oh,
that's a big up and two-handed stop there by Baybeck.
Mars on the shot. Sophia of Mars for the Eagles, and she's going cross cage top side, and just well-timed defense here.
Great job getting up. I mean, you're not going to be able to get up much higher than what she did right there.
Oh, I think you got to check some fingernails down that one.
And the Pioneers now back in their offensive end. 8 seconds to go on their shot clock.
A lot better period here for the Pioneers. I mean, just defense as well as offense. Oh, they're going to have to get back here, though. Here's Denninger on the break.
Denninger just so fast pushing that one forward, making an extra space for herself, gets up and floats that one in above Baybeck.
What shot hasn't she shown us?
No, she's shown so much touch, whether it's something just crushing the ball in there or just like that, knowing what's needed to get that ball in the net.
Well, it started off with the break. She just beat everyone up the pool. But then on the doorstep, she took her time, and then the heady play with the lob shot.
Yep, that lob over Baybeck is great. I mean, Baybeck had made a couple of really nice saves in a row on the previous couple of possessions. So the fact that Denninger waited for her to get up and go up and then just lob it in as she came back down, great play. And another great play by Pioneer, answered by Pioneer, Seipelt.
It's the Seipelt-Denninger show right now.
Just back and forth between these two.
And Seipelt, actually, her shots are finding, they're heat-seeking missiles.
She's so far away. She hasn't had the luxury to get in close to that net too many times.
And I think the defense is getting caught by watching her eyes, and she knows where she's going with that ball before the defense does. She comes up, and that shot is money.
Well, and I wonder if the trick is that they want her out on the outside as opposed to trying to get in that middle hole set position.
Oh, with the powerful shots, why not?
Yeah, she's clearly shown proclivity to be out there, so let her have it. But the Eagles are going to have to do a better job of marking her, understanding where she's at, and at least getting a hand or a face close to her.
A different defender. And look at that, just from outside right there. Great job on the defense there from Salazar.
Nice job by Salazar to stop that one. She'll get her offense going again on the other side. Eagles in transition with 23 seconds here to go. Here we'll see that another long shot.
Outside that 5-meter mark again.
Salazar knocked that one down with a flat palm.
Kind of found the wrong player there. Pioneer had the ball, but they threw it away right to the Skyline player.
As Coltis holding, sends the shot into Baybeck. Baybeck with that save once again.
You can see from our angle, Denninger actually calling out the plays to the person with the ball trying to get the shot off.
And now only 32 seconds left to go here in this first half. Big shot saved by the goalie's best friend.
Yeah, that post.
That crossbar was huge for Salazar on that one.
And Salazar doesn't look like she has the same length as Baybeck does. So having that crossbar come up, that's great defense there from the Pioneers. Not enough, though.
Great defense by the Pioneers, but nothing you can do with Ellie Denninger. She was falling to her right side. Look, it almost like she was falling away. And just to put the strength of her wrist and the forearms to still chuck that one in.
She's fighting off two players.
And she did. She managed to get away, get just an inch of openness, and she righted herself and tossed that one in.
And again, that was a different type of shot we've seen out of Denninger. We've seen cross cage, we've seen power, we've seen lob. That one, she's fighting off defenders and a little backhanded.
And now only 6 seconds to go here in the second period. We'll see if the Pioneers have one last chance. That's Seipelt in the middle, trying to turn around and find somebody.
McNeil came down with a huge slap. No penalty, though.
No penalty, and that will likely do it for the first half.
Or what are we doing here? It looks like we are going to have a penalty shot there. I mean, it was right at the 1 second mark where we saw that big swipe come down from McNeil.
And there you can see a really nice shot of one of our officials near side. We were talking, Kevin, that these officials are mic'd up talking to each other.
That's nice.
Brilliant.
I mean, I love that idea because the communication is so seamless between the officials while they're mic'd up.
Right, they can make a discussion, they can figure everything out. And with that said, it seems like that will do it for the half. Stick around, though. There's been a lot going on in this one, and it promises to continue in the second half. Stick around for second half for CTN Sports Game of the Week.
When it comes to keeping kids safe, we're all on the same team. As adults, it's our responsibility to keep kids out of harm's way. Part of that is preventing them from getting their hands on guns. Every year, hundreds of kids and young people die because they get a hold of guns. So many of these tragedies, suicides, unintentional shootings, even school shootings could be prevented. What can you do about it? It's simple. If you own a gun, lock it up, and encourage gun owners you know to do the same. Look, owning a gun is your right, but it's our responsibility to protect our kids and our communities. So please do your part. Be safe, be smart. We're in this together. Learn more about secure storage at besmartforkids.org.
Ottawa is about to be one of the first cities in Canada with advisory cycling lanes. Popular in Europe and in the US, the system is great for adding cycling lanes to streets where they wouldn't otherwise fit. Narrow roads with low volume traffic and low speeds. Here's how they work. Traffic from both sides share one center lane. Cycling lanes are placed on each side of the road. When there are two drivers traveling in opposite directions, the vehicles move into the cycling lanes to pass each other safely. What happens if there's a bike in the cycling lane? Whoever is in front has the right of way. Vehicles travel behind the bike, but can then move back into the center lane when it is safe to do so. It is a whole new way for drivers and cyclists to share the road.
The locations for the advisory bike lanes in Ann Arbor have been deployed on East Summit Street, Granger between State Street and Packer, and in the downtown on East William Street and South First Avenue.
And welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for CTN Sports Game of the Week. Once again, we're here at Hill Pool waiting for second half action to get going. And here we go between the Pioneers and the Eagles. Eagles up 8-4, but the Pioneers had a really nice second period, Kevin Bryant.
It sure did there. And, you know, the scoring kicked up, but it was just still too much. The Eagles are just too much power from the beginning of this game for the Pioneers. And a lot of offense and a lot of defense coming from the Eagles side.
Yeah, the Eagles play really upfront defense, in-your-face defense, all in the hope of getting that quick transition. They are fast, and they are led by Allie Deininger. Excuse me, we've been mispronouncing her name that first
It's
half.
Allie
Deininger.
Yeah, we got to get her name right if she's scoring that many goals.
For sure. For sure. I have a feeling we're going to say her name once or twice more before this one ends, so we'll make up for that.
Well, she did come over and hand you it phonetically. She said, you know, I'm going to be busy this second half.
I wish she would. If they all lined up and gave me a little card like that, I'd be more than happy to accept those.
Well, 2 possessions to start off the second half and no goals, no real shots on goals from either squad.
There's a shot right into the breadbasket of Baybeck. Nice job getting up and staying low and getting that one in, and now the Pioneers will move back into offensive transition.
Hey, if I'm Coach Hart, I might even think about putting 2 players on Deininger.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth thinking about. I mean, it's also interesting just how slowly the Pioneers got into that offense. It seemed like Baybeck was just holding that ball for a good 8-9 seconds before she even got it out of her net. And now the Pioneers are forced to just eat it, basically. Toss it into the middle. Blocked there by Salazar. Nice job. I ate my words on that one. I didn't think the Pioneers had anything coming up with that, but a really nice opportunity there by Osterholzer in that whole set position.
Osterholzer did not look over at the clock. She had that clock going in her head, and she knew she had an extra tick.
And there's a nice up and over goal by Marion Heusel. Feels weird to write someone else's name on that scorebook here.
And you can see this is another lob shot coming up where you can see almost standing on the top of her legs was Baybeck, and she never got an opportunity to pop up out of the pool.
Yeah, really great awareness by Heusel, and she's seen what Baybeck has done. She knows how tall and how high Baybeck can get up, so it's nice to it's smart to give that little bit of a fake, get the goaltender up, and then just lob it right over. Pioneers back trying to get into that center position for their offense.
And that's again the issue right now for Coach Hart is their offense isn't clicking.
No, and it just seems as a whole just slow to get going, right? And not as quite as much movement, not as quite as much motion. But I also wonder if there's part of that, there's Deininger.
And Deininger just attacked that ball when, you know, the Pioneer player, Lindstrom, had it up in her hand, and she just took it right out of her paw.
Well, Coach Godek told me before the game, not only does Deininger score a lot, 46 goals coming into this one, but she leads the team with 44 steals as well.
And if you watch Deininger out there in the pool, she is actually doing a lot of communication between her players, as well as not just scoring and playing defense, she's leading vocal.
Well, that's what a great player does, right? You're a leader, you lead by example, and you're going to get more goals and get more offense going if you're talking to your teammates as well. And we've got a timeout now. Skyline timeout, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Godek did try to slow down and maybe set up a good offensive attack here.
You can see that last chance here. Just sitting, waiting on it, waiting, and there's Deininger just
like
has
Jaws. Can you play the Jaws music?
no patience for that. No patience for it. I mean, that's just in attack mode, right? She beaded in on that ball and went for it.
And Lindstrom's a captain. So, I mean, to see that ball get taken out of a captain's hand like that, wow. That's good work there on defense. Nice crowd here, staying out of the snow outside in a nice April day here in Michigan.
Snowing outside. Late April. Come on, man. It's just Michigan. But what will warm you up is CTN Spring Sports. We're moving, right? We've got some more coming up this Friday. We've got more water polo, Celine at Pioneer. We've got some girls soccer.
That's
girls lacrosse
Celine
coming
Milan
up.
Pioneer.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not just Celine.
Well, good for them.
So we got to combine that next time we update the graphic.
And I'm sure all
Just
of
some more
our
work
crack
for Rob.
graphic artists and directors will do that.
Because he has nothing else going on, right?
Right. Yeah, he's in the truck just so excited that you've given him one more thing to do on his list.
Salazar is actually going to trigger this one.
Skyline in a rare half-pool offense right now.
And really packing that defense in and not even putting a person on the forward up on top.
The Pioneers being as aggressive as they can with somebody in the exclusion penalty right now.
Oh, and that's inside the 5-meter mark, and actually jumping it back outside. A lot of action up under the water going on.
Nice penalty kill there by the Pioneers, but off the rebound, Skyline puts another one in.
That was Heitzel again, I
Was
believe.
it?
Yeah. Right.
Johnny on the spot right there. She didn't know what to do.
Right place,
just
right time,
came right to her, right time, right
pass
place,
almost.
and then just tossed it in. She didn't even fire it in. She was just like, oh, hey, here's the thing.
Hey,
and just
maybe
tossed
that
it
was
in there.
can we still give an assist on that play after the shot? I mean, 'cause,
Yeah.
it was such a great pass off the post. That crossbar has been a friend of the offense.
Pays to be lucky. Pays to be lucky. Here we got Baybeck now. Shot clock down to 2 seconds, and she's just going to muff that one. Tried to get that one in. That one might have almost scooched in
I
there.
might want to take a look at that. Salazar was late to the party on that one. That ball may have crossed over that end line.
That's a heck of an arm by Baybeck. I mean, obviously you know she's got that in her, but Salazar, that was completely off her radar, and that was dangerously close to squirting in.
Great job of drawing the defense there. And that was Sawyer drawing the defense. You
And
can
here
see
we got this
Sawyer.
one over to Heusel. She tries one more time. Knocked down there by Baybeck. Ready for that one. Great job of cutting off the angle there by Baybeck.
Yeah, and that was an open shot from the wing position. You might want to see a lob shot next time.
Let's see that long one. Whoa! That.
Hey, what did the official turn his back?
I
Did he
mean,
turn
we've
it
got
to look because he's watching.
the camera's
And,
at an odd angle.
It's still. I mean, the shot is taken, so the shot clock really isn't in the play there, right? But the way from that angle, it kind of looked like the ball got in the net. Maybe not all the way across, though.
It was close nonetheless, but regardless, no goal for Baybeck. I wonder how many she's got in her career. And there's a pass over. Another big save by Baybeck. I mean, Baybeck's going to look up and see that she's got 10 goals get by her, but man, she has made some huge saves in this game.
Yeah, a lot of shots on goal that she's saved.
The Eagles could very easily have 5-6 more goals at this point.
But look at her eyeball this shot and then come up at the right time. That is an awesome defense coming up, and that's a great camera angle, guy.
Right, and that's a solid shot by Sawyer, but Baybeck was just ready to go.
Oh, the post.
Salazar now trying to get the party started up to Sawyer. Another whistle. This is
Uh-oh.
going to be here for
Quick
Pioneer.
turnover.
Now they've got a breakaway. One-on-one now. Nice fake, and then sends it through. That's Kate Lindstrom.
Another captain. Kate
Lindstrom with
Lindstrom.
a great job there, being with her patience. She knew she had plenty of time. She got that ball up, gave a couple of arm waves, and then sent that one in.
That play, though, was started by the turnover from the foul, the minor penalty on the Skyline player as they were trying to advance the ball up pool. And that just gave Lindstrom the doorstep, and the door was wide open.
And I just don't think Salazar could tread water anymore. She looked tired by the end of that. You can't give the other team that level of a breakaway.
Now the Pioneers just need to play some defense this last minute of the period.
Maddie Baybeck's more than happy to keep working and making these saves. Advantage Skyline right now with 1 minute to go.
And they've the Eagles have really played some. The Pioneers have played some great defense. But look at that, the touch shot. That was sweet.
Cultus with a really nice alley-oop, would you call it? Just a tip.
You definitely have to call that. Nice smile on her face after that shot. Yeah, you got to give some depth to your player from dropping that pass in.
Cultus, really nice finish.
Let's check this out.
Nice job of getting that pass in over to her as well.
And right over the keeper's head.
Excellent job of being aware of where everybody is. The keeper, the defense, knowing she didn't have time to receive that, knowing she didn't have time to go and do anything else with it, just tipped it in. Beautiful goal.
And it kind of looks like the Pioneers are cutting the game down in half by slowing the shot clock down, taking all of the time out of the shot clock before attempting any shots.
Right, with being down 11-5, the game plan is to just win quarters, right? Understanding what it takes to be in contention with a high-flying offense like this. And now only 3 seconds to go here in this third period. Baybeck muffs that one down, and that will do it for third period here. But the fourth period of action coming up shortly for CTN Sports Game of the Week. Stick around. You don't know what you're going to get here. We don't know what we're going to get here. Stick around. We will be right back.
Catch up on FYI and other CTN programs at a2gov.org/watchctn.
And welcome back, everybody, as we're set to start this fourth period of action here at Hill Pool, where we've seen the Skyline Eagles up 11-5 on the home team Pioneers. Kevin, can you break down that third quarter?
A lot of defense from both sides. We only had 4 goals scored, or 3 goals scored actually, and it looks like the Pioneers are really trying to play clock management and not taking advantage of short clocks and cutting down on the possession time for the Eagles, and it really worked out into their favor, where the Eagles didn't put a lot of extra points on the board.
No, they didn't, but there were also some huge saves by Maddie Baybeck as well. Baybeck, once again, coming up just monstrous for her team.
Exactly. I mean, Baybeck has been coming up, crossing and covering that cage as best she can. And I think that style of play now, with limiting some of the possessions, has helped her see maybe some fewer shots coming at her.
Yeah, seeing fewer shots, and that'll save her legs a little bit as well. I mean, she's been asked to just constantly be up and down out of the pool. We've talked about how tall she gets, so a few less of those shots are going to go a long way for her. There's a long shot with a hand stop in the middle of it there.
See, Deininger still coming in for the play there. She didn't want to give up, and 2 Pioneers had to follow her to get her out of the way.
Well, we've just seen her motor. She's got that motor that's constantly going, right? And one of the things that makes her so successful, aside from her speed and her awareness, but it just go, 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 go. You're going to make things happen for yourself if you're constantly on the move.
Yeah, she's a winger. I mean, she's a diver. so she's out on the top side of the 5-meter mark. But you would not know that because she finds her way down into the hole so often, like she was just there.
There's another muffed offensive opportunity there by the Pioneers. Sent that one in the corner, and the Eagles will be forced to work extra hard to get this one up. Just crossing mid-pool right now. 16 seconds to go on the shot clock. The Eagles have got to figure something out quickly. Deininger way out, tries to find the player in the middle of the hole set. That's Britta Coltis once again.
And Coltis with an assist on the first goal, as well as a goal herself there in the third period.
She's the Eagles' second leading scorer on the season. Coming in this one, she had 18 goals.
And again, this is kind of a style where this is a long setup for the Pioneers.
But it plays into what they're trying to do. They're moving the ball around. They're getting into this half-court offense, trying to find players cutting in one way or another. But there is that shot clock penalty.
Sort of like an example of checkers and chess. One team is speed playing, the other one is looking for precision moves.
Lots of give and take for sure.
One thing we should mention, Nick, is it's been a pretty much clean match. Not a lot of penalties.
Very few penalties. Only a couple. Yeah, this one has moved pretty quickly. There's Deininger hitting that post again.
Again, that's another shot from another angle that we've seen out of Deininger. I mean, it's here, it's left, it's a lob. The only thing we haven't seen so far is the old skip shot.
And it sounds like, I remember talking to Huron's coach last week or 2 weeks ago when we were doing the game. She doesn't want that skip shot.
Really?
She advised her players against it. She's not interested in that. With the ball going low, it's a lot easier to save, right? Like, you don't need to get up. You don't need to get high and really extend that goaltender. I'm assuming. I am by no means an expert. But no, for as much as we've seen both of these teams and all of the excellent players on both squads and both the excellent coaches, we've seen none of those low skip shots. So you'd have to think that it's going a smidge out of fashion or just not as effective.
And Seipelt there with the penalty. Looks like there's going to be some wholesale changes coming up at the next stoppage for, or is that a timeout going on? It does look like a timeout going on for Skyline.
Right, I'm sure Coach Godick is going to rally her girls and just go over, hey, this is what Pioneer's up to. This is what they're trying to do. This is how we counter it. Or this is how we get into our offense quicker, maybe.
Well, and they're getting a great opportunity at seeing this type of offense, right? We're talking about how both teams are gearing up for the finals and, seeing how sometimes offenses are triggered from outside of that 5-meter mark and how Pioneer is utilizing the entire pool. It's something that Coach Godick can go back and look on tape and checking out. You can see all of our social media there, but checking out how that they are going to attack that type of style going into the States.
Well, and this is what it said, strangely, this is one of the first times we've talked about it. Both of these coaches are always preaching everything's going towards the States. You're right. Everything during the regular season is just looking forward to that big state tournament, and you're right. Whether it's working on it this period, whether it's working on it this game, who knows how many more times these two teams see each other, but it all comes down to that all-important state tournament, and they're both always driving towards that.
Just taking a look at some of the numbers on the hats, it does look like the Eagles still have most of their starters in the game. Still working on another play.
Well, I think they might be working on their power play right now with an exclusion there in for Pioneer. So the Eagles find an opening right up front. High shot, Baybeck, another save.
Baybeck's played an outstanding game in the net. Don't look at the scoreboard when I say that, because there's been some opportunities that she hasn't had. A little bit of help from her defense would have gone a long way.
No, this game could easily be 20-5 without Baybeck in there. Yeah, she's made a lot. She's made a lot of fundamental saves and then a lot of the spectacular saves as well. Yeah, that score, there's nothing to be taken away from what Baybeck has accomplished here in this game.
It looks like there's going to be a penalty there on the Eagles and maybe a penalty shot coming up for the. No, they got to play on now, but there's definitely going to be a man advantage for the Pioneers.
It's a chance for the Pioneers to get it a little bit closer and work on their power play. Long high shot, crossbar, then down into the post. Salazar scoops that one up, knocks that one away before that can skip into the pool.
Precision shot, but just not rewarded, man. Crossbar just does not. Well, it's a friend of the goalkeepers, right?
Goalie's best friend, as always. It's Sophia Mars trying to get the offense going, trying to find somebody in the middle, looking for Britta Kultus. And we're going to get the ball out. Skyline continues to work it around. Looking for Kultus in the middle. Kultus almost not one-handed that one in, similar to a goal earlier.
Yeah, Kultus trying to replay it.
Baybeck comes up with it. She's going to watch her team scoot down the pool. 19 seconds to go on the shot clock.
Got another long whistle. Looks like I did hear a timeout by Coach Hart, but it looks like before then it was going to be a penalty. Nick coming up against the Eagles.
Coming in.
Wow, they wanted us to get involved in the action.
Almost got
it. Oh, man, I was hoping so. My glasses would have went everywhere.
I was ready for it. I knew it was coming up short. I didn't know how short it was coming. I was ready, though.
We were talking about that during our stand-up at the beginning. Wouldn't it be neat if a ball just hit the water behind us? During the broadcast, different.
Well, a little bit different when we're doing this. And now that I know how cold and if it's snowing outside, I don't need to walk out there and have icicles hanging down from my hair.
No, we got another game this Friday here.
True story. You said Celine Milan here against Pioneer.
Celine Milan, yeah, combined. And get this, I'm going to love when we come up with the logo for their nickname, Chickadees.
Hey, why not?
The Celine Milan Chickadees.
Love it.
The chickadees in water.
Make it, right.
Yeah, I got it. I like it.
Make it your own, own it, run with it. Spring sports going strong here on CTN's Game of the Week.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I mean, when it's a perfect broadcast, you get a ball thrown at you. You get clock malfunction.
Nobody remembers perfect broadcasts. You remember the silly things that happen. You remember getting hit by the ball. You remember tripping. You remember the camera guy gets slammed into in hoops. It's all fun. Those are the things. Those are the memorable things.
I loved how one of our cameramen came in with shorts on. I thought he was going to be jumping in the water or something.
It's still early. He can still do that. And the Pioneers now working the ball around and finds it. Top shelf.
Seipelt
nails another one.
Man, we had a great angle of that.
Right, you are. Not a lot that Salazar could do with that. Just precision shot up into that corner. Cuts the lead 11-6 now for Skyline.
That's something for Coach Hart's squad to build upon, that, hey, if we didn't get off to such a bad start, this match would be really close going down to the end.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, I think that is the takeaway. It is about winning period by period and going back and looking at things, breaking things down in smaller sample sizes.
I mean, you start off 4-1 after that first period, and it really took a lot of energy as well as being down on the scoreboard from the Pioneers.
That said, the Eagles have just been relentless. You know, they put those first few goals in quickly, Dininger specifically putting a few goals in early. And, I mean, that's a backbreaker too, right? You come out strong, you come out fast.
On your home pool.
Yep. And now 1:14 left to go here in this one as the Pioneers wait to get into their offense. And while we wait on that, we want to thank everybody that makes this broadcast possible. On camera tonight, we've got Ken Simpson, Katsumi Nagai on our other camera, Mo Sislak Al-Mazri on audio replay, and of course, Rob Cross in the truck, making sure that everything goes as smoothly as it always does.
Although that was, Heisel came in with a big slap from the back, but that did not get called, and it's a turnover, and the Eagles will go up pool now.
And even this deep into the game, look at that Skyline Eagles just transition offense. They're hustling up the pool. So much speed. Everybody in the offensive positioning just cruising up into their zone.
Yard mark there out top with the defense, and she had two hands on the offensive player.
And one more spectacular save by Bayback. Man, her hands and her forearms are just going to be done for the rest of the week.
Mars on the shot there for the Eagles.
And with only 18 seconds left, Bayback's going to try to push the envelope a little bit, bring herself into the offense a little bit more. Maybe fire one out from long ways, or if she's going to lead somebody into the middle. Great job, great reception, but quality defense there by the Eagles. And that will do it for this one. 11-6, the final. Skyline Eagles come away with the victory here at Hill Pool, but we are not done yet. Kevin Bryant will be with our key player of the game in just a moment.
Hey folks, I hope you like what you're watching, and if you do, hit that little like button and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at A2CTN Sports. And welcome back to the CTN Sports Game of the Week. And who else was going to be our player of the game? Allie, I'm going to have you say your last name because we said it about 9 different ways. What is it?
Deininger.
Allie, you had an amazing match there. You scored from every single angle. 7 goals to earn this key player of the game. What was it like out there today?
It was really fun coming from tying them just a few weeks ago. So we really wanted to come out and win this game.
Well, you guys started off well. You came out 4-1 in the first period and kept the pressure on going into the second half. What does this line up for you? Because I know you guys have a busy 2 weeks.
We do have a busy 2 weeks. I think we have 6 or 7 games this week. So we have a lot of games. And then going into the district and regional tournament should be exciting.
Well, it's a great way to start it off. Congratulations again. We'll send it back over to you, Nick, to wrap this one up. Yeah, let's try this again.
And thank you so much, Kevin, and thank you, Allie, and thank you, everybody, tuning in one last time. Again, Skyline Eagles 11-6 victors here at Hill Pool. For Kevin Bryant, I'm Nick the Jinx Wisniewski. We'll catch everybody next time on CTN Sports Game of the Week.
You know, it's to keep on the top shelf besides the goals?
What's that, man?
The peanut butter.